Glad to have you back. It is still the conversation on Lagos television. On this side, we're looking at a very important issue that concerns every one of us. Relationship between electricity providers and consumers. Electricity remains a crucial aspect of daily life and economic growth in Nigeria. However, the relationship between electricity providers and consumers have been marked by challenges, including tariff adjustments, service reliability, metering issues, billing disputes, introduction of bandi, bandi.
Constant blackouts.
A lot of issues. So this is a serious conversation you do not want to miss. And to discuss this issue with us, so break it down.
There's no other person.
Dan, the MDCEO, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, Sunday Odunton. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
All right. I think a good way to begin this conversation is to understand the rationale behind the classification. Why do we have the bandi, bandi?
Thank you very much. The Nigerian power sector was privatized on the 1st of November 2013. And at that point, when this privatization took place, it was meant to be a journey, a very long journey. So we had to take a step at a time, but the ultimate goal is to have Nigeria as a nation to have 24-hour electricity. And for this to happen, both the government, it's a triangle, the government, the service providers, and the consumers have rules and responsibilities. And because we all have rules to play, there are things that all of us have to do. So when we started the journey, there was no band classification. When we started the journey, electricity was not as good as this. But when I say as good as this, in terms of production of electricity, which we call generation, we were generating far lower than what we do generate today. That shows there has been an improvement over the years. But we are not where we're supposed to be. That journey, we're still going far. And because we are not where we're supposed to be, we now have to look at where can we cover very well? Where are we poor? Where are we fair? Where can we say good? Where do we have very good? And where are we excellent? Now, to make this clear to our viewers, I want to explain that from the days of ECN to NEPA to PSTN, now to DISCOs, some areas, because of the particular infrastructure, land or Ikeja GRA, or we prefer Magodo people or customers. No. It happened that if you live in Magodo, you are likely to get more electricity because of the passage, the area, the location, than if you live in Ajangbadi. So, the location, the issue of electricity all over this country is location-based. So what the quantum of what you get depends on where you live. So our regulator, in their wisdom, and they are doing a very commendable but very difficult job, they decided that, look, let us classify service provision. So if I can provide you with between 20 and 24 hours, that is excellent. Let us look at the area, where can we give them an average of 20 hours, not less than 20, and we can do up to 24 hours. On average, on a 30-day period, when you do the calculation, because when we say we give you 20 hours, we are not saying that light will not go off one day or system will not collapse unknowingly one day. We are not saying that there won't be issues or something happen to your transformer. We are saying that on an average, we must be able to attain that 20 hours on the average. So they now say that is excellent. Because it is excellent, give it, in WAEC in those days, we made A1. That's excellent. We say, that's Band-A. We now say, if we cannot give you up to 20 hours, what's the next one? Okay, if we can give you between 16 and 19 hours, that's Band B. Then we have Band C, Band D, and Band E. If you're on Band E, unfortunately, you don't get what you are supposed to get because of where you are, not because of who you are. So we do not target you as a person,
Sorry,
but we look at how our wires, cables,
so I want
can
to
go as far.
Let me cut you here, sir.
Yes.
So are you trying to tell me now that
Yes.
it is not based, because it looks like premium. So are you trying to tell me that it's not based on the kind of people that live in that area, but it's because of the wires?
Not necessarily.
Because those places that
the
are
only
abandoned,
one-
they are premium
My own
areas
question is,
Let me explain.
my own question is, why
There's a
can't the
difference
wires get to
everywhere.
everywhere?
Because it requires a lot of money and investment. Why can't the light rail of Eko from Marina, why can't it get to where we are now? Can you take a train here?
It's still work in progress.
Our own is also working. So thank God, you have just said
It's still work in progress.
exactly. The thing to do with electricity in Nigeria is a work in progress.
Okay.
And remember, the issue of premium customers is different from
Band A.
Band-A. In fact, yesterday, our customers in Magodo came to our office at Ikeja Electric to say, we are not happy, because you've now put us on Band-A. We want to return back to premium. The same people, not all of them, but many of them were abusing us when we started the premium for them. What did we do? We went to them and say, willing buyer,
Willing seller.
Anytime we Magodo, olówó ni yín now. Ẹ má lo generator mọ́. To use generator, let us give you 24-hour premium service. You are going to pay more than double of what other people pay in the same Ikeja. Even on CMD road, they pay far less than you, but we'll give you special service. Call on all 24 hours, we'll be there. And we were able to do that for them. Initially, we have to call you. We don't want. But they never use generator again. They don't have to buy diesel or petrol in Magodo. And we extended it to some other places, Shonibara Estate, Ikeja GRA, and so on. We were doing that before our regulator came up with the Band-A to Band-E issue. And when they came yesterday, they said they want a return back to the premium service, because it was a bilateral agreement that we signed with them, which made them not to use generator again, but they were paying more than you and I. That you can say was a special provision for people that could afford it.
Okay.
Olówó.
So that's the premium.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay.
And anywhere you go, whether you go to Sheraton Hotel in Ikeja, there's premium service. That's why they have room that they call single room, double room, deluxe, and they will now say suite, presidential suite. The same building, but different service. That is premium. So even with service provider, you have premium. Even without TV, there's premium. So people pay specially for certain programs. If I want to be on air on my own for 1 hour, nobody should disturb me, no commercial. If I can pay for it, airtime, that's premium. So now, part of what this program is talking about is a relationship between us and our customers.
Okay, I'm going to come in here.
Yes.
For many Nigerians are now saying they are paying so much, but they are not having, enough power. So what do you have for these consumers?
Okay, I just mentioned customers in Magodo coming back to say
that's premium. I'm talking about Band-A.
No, that's Band-A.
I'm talking about Band-A.
But they are saying we don't want Band-A again. We want to pay more because they know the benefit of paying more to get more. People that keep complaining.
People like me, I'm on Band-A and I'm complaining. Like, for instance, overnight, today, there was no light since after 9, and it has been a pattern.
Thank you.
past 9 for the past 1 week. But before then, it's been brilliant. But in the last, no, I will tell the truth.
Can you imagine now?
But in the last 1 week, from a little minutes past 9, it goes off.
I will explain to you.
Okay.
Lagos State has been affected adversely when it comes to supply of electricity in the last 1.5 weeks. Not 1 week, 1.5 weeks. What happened was that about 3 of the towers, you know, the high tension line, there was a problem with about 3 of them coming from Omotosho power plant.
Please, where is this Omotosho? Because Ikeja Electric has been sending.
It has affected.
They sent you messages. Yes, they've been sending messages that the problem is from Omotosho.
For that, communication.
So, I've been wondering, where is this Omotosho?
We value. Okay, I will explain. Omotosho is a power plant. We have Olorunshogo. We have Egbin, and we have Omotosho. Okay. Egbin is in Ikorodu, Lagos State. Okay. Olorunshogo is in Pakwalanto, in Ogun State. Omotosho is along Benin Ore Expressway on the left-hand side, after Ogun State, just in Ondo State, just as you pass Ogun State on that express. That is Omotosho power plant. All of them supply light into different parts through the national grid, in this case into Lagos State. And once the towers were broken, then we lost huge, over 400 megawatts of electricity. With that loss, there's what we call load shedding, which means we have to take off light from her, give to you a bit, little bit, then to me, back to her. We have to ration it. That is what has been happening in the last 1 week.
In the last 1 week.
It is very unlike us. We're not like that.
Okay.
We would normally, okay, since you've not been having enough supply in the last 1 week, your unit has remained in your meter, whereas I should have eaten that unit up. So which means we are not making money every time you don't have light. The more light we give people, the more money that will get to us, the more we'll be able to pay upstream. So the issue of, and I'm happy, you just confirmed, as soon as that thing happened, we began serious communication with all of our customers. They're sorry, we have this problem, we are trying to fix it. It is from transmission end. But whether it's transmission, generation, or distribution, we are one and the same family, living in the same house, but different rooms. So all we try to do is to ensure that the service is seamless. That's what I was trying to say when I say it's a journey. We are getting to a point that, we are going to get to a point that everybody in Nigeria have to be in band A. Band A simply means giving you 24-hour electricity. So if you are in band B, or C, or D, or E, and you are paying less, don't be too happy that you are paying less. You all have to migrate at a point to band A, because that's what you need. You don't have to be using your generator. And if you have an inverter or solar, you can do a hybrid, mix it up, manage your energy, you still pay less, but you have 24-hour electricity. Okay. We're talking about relationship. I think it's important for me to mention that it is very crucial for there to be good relationship between service providers and the consumer, the end users of the service. In the case of we as Discos, and because we are in Ikeja, I will use Ikeja at my point of contact. Ikeja Electric is a company headed by a group of professionals. The chairman of Ikeja Electric is a gentleman called Dr. Kola Adeshina. The managing director of Ikeja is a lady, fragile-looking, brilliant young lady, a woman called Dr. Mrs. Folake Shoeton. Now, they are trying their best to ensure they render good service, and where they fail, once we drop the ball, we own up, we try our best to correct it. But as we do that, we also try to have a lot of engagement with our customers. And a recent example that I will give is the kind of engagement that we had with Ikeja, Nigerian Air Force Base in Ikeja, who are owing us 4.3 billion naira. And when we say they are owing us, that 4.3, only 20% belong to Ikeja Electric. The rest belong to the gas suppliers, generation company, transmission company, CBN loan. So, but we are the collection agents. The discourse that below the value chain. We are the one that you know. We are the one that you abuse. We are not complaining. We are the one that you call names. No problem. But as we collect from you, we pay upstream. That is the only assurance for continuous supply of electricity. So in the case of Ikeja Electric and our dear customers, the Nigerian Air Force, Dr. Kola Adesina, a very good man, a man of peace, insisted that we should continue to engage with them. We should have cut their electricity since last year. When they even beat up one of our customers, one of our staff that we sent to collect money in June 2024, Dr. Kola Adesina said, no, continue to go and appeal to them. So we kept on having meeting with a gentleman called Air Vice Marshal A.K. Ademulegun. The Ogapalawata, they call them Air Officer Commanding, AOC. And we kept appealing to them to pay. When they did not pay, and they were not paying what they were supposed to pay, we now said, okay, let us install one equipment that will, let us agree, how many hours can you pay for? If you can pay for 11 hours, we now put this equipment just at your doorstep, just before you enter that Air Force base, and we program it. So we supply you only the 11 hours that you have agreed to pay for. If you want 10, if you want 15, but it can be 24 hours because you are not paying. And what we do that, all you now do is to pay. And we did that. The next thing they did, they tamper with it. That's called energy theft. Air Force, Nigeria Air Force Base, Ikeja.
But is this common with government institutions?
Energy theft is different from non-payment. They are guilty of both energy theft and non-payment. And energy theft on its own is a crime. And I'm sorry, I feel ashamed that my own people, honorable military people, who engage in such criminality. But Dr. Adesina insisted that we should not disconnect them. He asked us to go back and have a meeting with Air Vice Marshal Ademulegun, and we did. At the meeting we had with him, we now say, Oga, he wasn't happy with this rationing. We said, okay, he wants to remain on Bande, let us come and give you prepaid meter. And when we told him that, and his team, he agreed. So we now wrote a letter. The last letter we wrote on that prepaid meter, we sent a letter to him to say that we shall be installing the meter on the 2nd of December, 2024. And so that was a Monday. Our contractor and our tanker staff would go there. When they went there, they were denied access. So they didn't want us to give them prepaid meter. They prevented us from giving them prepaid meter. Yet they did not pay. Because they did not pay, we had no other choice, just last 2 weeks, than to disconnect.
And disconnect.
Because now we have a debt of 4.3 billion. And when we did that, we expected them to invite, let me repeat, 4.3 billion naira. In fact, I have the actual, because when we say 4.3, it looked like it's 4 billion 340 million 566,490 naira. 4.3 billion naira. They owe from 2013. They've been owing since privatization. 2013 to December 31st, 2022, they were owing 3.2 billion. 2023, they owed 191 million. 2024, they owe 893 million. That's how we come to a total of 4.3 billion. Okay. So we disconnected them, expecting that as officers and gentlemen, they will invite us back. They will come and make payment. But all we want is payment. Whether you're a private customer, individual customer, or corporate customer, pay, we will connect. The next thing they did last week was just to come all of a sudden very early, 7:35 a.m., and I was there in person. They came to the office here and started beating all of us up. They vandalized the whole of the office, every department, IT department. They took off all the CCTV cameras. They went away with the database so that nobody can trace or see their faces. But some of us that were outside, I was in front of MITV. I was about to cross the road when I saw them scaling the fence, like as if we were at war. So I stood there, and a lot of us were able to take video and pictures of them. So we know them. And they commandeered 16, because we were about to go for a commissioning. So the MD was in her car, some staff were in a coaster bus, some other buses were ready with drivers. They took 16 of those drivers and those vehicles, drove them by force to the Air Force Base. On getting to the Air Force Base, a senior officer supervised the torture and beating up of those drivers. And you will see the significance of this. Because how do we know this? We were not there. So when they did all of that, and the whole country, of course, thanks to LTV and all other media groups in this country, everybody saw that we're not in military regime. They beam it, and I think they are the chief of air staff, all the letter we wrote on debt, we copied him, but he ignored us. He didn't even bother to reply. Now, this Air Vice Marshal A.K. Ademulegun, the Okapata, came with his team of other officers later in the day. It's like when they go to war. After the spoil of war, they now go back and say, let's sit down around the table to resolve. So they came to our office later in the day. According to them, a peace mission to assess the damages. So when they came, those our drivers, they have returned the vehicles and the drivers back to our office. Our drivers started pointing us to one of the officers. That's the senior officer that supervised the torture. The same senior officer was brought by Air Vice Marshal A.K. Ademulegun to sit down at the round table with our chairman, Dr. Kola Adesina, who in his magnanimity has even made it impossible for us. He has kept on saying, let us resolve it, let's find peace, because by now we should be in court. By now we should take more steps. And we're still saying that there cannot be a resolution without restitution. So they came, the same people, the same officer that ordered his men to beat and torture us, came back to the office in a show of shame. So that happened to us. But I'm talking about relationship. When you have a chairman like Kola Adesina in an organization, you can only continue to have peace. I can confirm to you that this same Air Vice Marshal was still in my chairman's office yesterday. They have not paid though, although of course they want to be connected. But that should not happen in a sane country. All we want is pay and you'll be reconnected.
Okay, with all you have said, debt recovery, especially from government institutions, is a challenge. And since we're talking about relationships, how do you think is better to foster a more cordial relationship in order to recover debts from these government institutions?
Well, we've been doing that. Number one is customer engagement. We need to continuously engage with our customers. Number two is good leadership. I can confirm that the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he particularly paid attention to payment of ministry, department and agencies debt. Just like Mr. Fashola did as Minister of Power in ensuring that a lot of these debts were paid. So once the leadership at the top had done their bit by ensuring that money is allocated to the Federal Ministry of Defense, down to the whether Air Force Base or military cantonment for them to pay their debt, it is now for these leaders, the officers and gentlemen of this military establishment to pay. The money should not disappear along that chain. They should pay. And once we are not getting payment, our duty is to approach them peacefully and plead with them.
That is why you have a debt of 4.something billion.
Yes. and let me say, even this debt that I'm talking about, it wasn't as if it would have been more than that. I said that at the end of 2022, there was 3.2 billion debt. But in 2023, their bill was 1.4 billion. But they paid 1.2 through our engagement.
Oh, okay.
Through our building a good relationship with the Air Force Base at Ikeja. 2023, they paid 1.2 out of 1.4. remaining 191 million. In 2024, their bill in 2024 was 1.5 billion. That's where we had a disappointment. Despite the government paying them, they only pay 623 million. Yes. 2023, they pay 1.2 out of 1.4. But 2024, out of 1.5, they only paid 623 million naira, thereby leaving a balance of 893 million unpaid. But again, even the little that we were able to collect was through continuous engagement. We have their letters. We have letters that we wrote to them that were duly stamped. We had meetings with them. We have all the dates of our meetings with them. Again, we know that as service providers, we must continue to be good to our customers, to inform them, to let them know. And we go on the media like this to let Nigerians know that the electricity that you see, whether in your studio or in your homes, get to you courtesy of a value chain that includes gas suppliers who are not part of the power sector. They have to be paid, and they are paid in dollar, mind you. So all these people, if you don't pay the gas suppliers, you cannot use your gas plants that depends on gas. And most of our power plants use gas. Only 3 use water. That's Hydro, Kanji, Jeba, and Shiroro. Other than that, all others like Egbin, Omotosho, Ibom Power, and the one that we mentioned, Olonsugo, use gas. So we try our best to engage with our customers.
You have, explicitly stated what you do, engaging consumers for them to know, put them up to speed on how things are going on your end. So the question now is, what do you expect from consumers as well? Because let us balance it. So it doesn't look like, what are you doing, what are you doing? So what do you also expect from consumers?
Number one, we expect honesty. We expect customers, and I can confirm that we have many good customers, many honest Nigerians. But we have some that are just very dishonest. They believe in using electricity free of charge. We have a lot of cases. You see people say, give us prepaid meter. We don't have meter. About 40% of our meters are bypassed. Now we started using technology now. We're now using smart meters. So when you tamper with it, we'll get to know. But they see tamper with it. And
how do you get to know? It sends a signal?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When I said they tamper with auto reclosure at Air Force Base, it was because the moment they tamper with it and they broke the communication cable, our system in Ikeja, electric, trigger it and say, Air Force Base Ikeja, they are broken, they start using power free of charge, energy theft. So now our customers should endeavor, when you see something, please say something. That's number one. Number two, report faults so we can clear it as soon as possible. Number three, be a good neighbor. Because if 20 people are using one transformer, 20 houses, if we have people bypassing electricity or engaging in energy theft in maybe about 5 out of 20, they are causing wahala for the 15 honest neighbors. Because if we get to know, eventually we may have to disconnect that transformer. Or if we don't get to know, and those who are doing those things, those other customers, some of them are on estimated billing. They are paying for the others. We don't know. Because we don't know that they are doing it, the people that are honest are the ones paying for the dishonest one. So we expect our customers to continue to engage with us, to pay their bill. If they have any complaint, or they do not agree with a particular billing, you have a right to challenge your bill. And that is why we have regulators. Even when we don't listen to you.
So how do you challenge the billing when you get a bill that...
That's what I'm saying. Once you dispute a bill, take it to our nearest office. And when you deal with any of our officers, as I did with somebody this morning at Ijegun on the phone, ask for their name, try to know their identity. If they don't attend to you well, everybody has Oga. They have another office, another layer, business manager, regional manager, district manager, and of course head office, like in Ikeja here. And if, for instance, you don't get justice or you don't get the response that you require, report us to our regulator. That's why they have what they call NEC forum office. Once you take us there, it's like taking us to court. They will fine us heavily. So we know that we try our best to ensure we respond to your complaint. And please, when they now explain to you, because some people have come to us before and say, crazy bill, you gave me crazy bill. By the time we explain to the customer, he realized that he's the one that is crazy, not the bill. Because you don't put on light in the afternoon outside your house. Or you are in your sitting room, the light in the kitchen is on, visitor toilet is on,
I have a question
and then
about
you expect that your bill will not go up. Your bill will go up.
Okay. I want to find out another issue that is causing, is it distrust or a sour relationship between providers and consumers? Is the constant rise in cost of electricity.
Good.
So, what are the factors, that cause this constant increase?
Thank you very much. I can see a phone on your lap. It's an Android phone.
Yeah.
This phone, in 2023, if you check the price and you go back today, go to Computer Village or Slot.
Kilofa.
Same one. Kilofa is
Kilofa.
rising inflation, rising cost of foreign exchange, and you wonder why I'm linking foreign exchange to power.
Exactly.
Electricity and foreign exchange. Thank you. I will explain to you. Let me start with even infrastructure around us. I can see behind you the new train station at Marina, and even Ikeja. And that bridge, that Lekki Link Bridge, most of the material used there are imported. In electricity, in the power sector, more than 80% of the equipment that we use are imported. Because they are imported and not produced in Nigeria, it means that you have to change Naira to dollar. And if you check the Naira-dollar exchange rate, when we came on board, it was less than 150 Naira in 2013. Today, it's over 1,400, 500, 1,500. So those are the reasons for that increment. And if you check through any of your banks, any of our banks, and ask for the lending rate or interest rate, you will see that when you take money from the bank, you pay quite a lot more. That's the reason for that.
Oh, okay.
We need to round up, but just one final question. Your final word to consumers about electricity conservation. You were saying something that you can't be in the parlor and the lights in the kitchen is on. So I really need to talk about that too.
Okay. The first thing I want to talk about, I'm appealing to our customers that if you don't have a meter, and I'm aware of one of the Oga here in LTV who has no meter, and I was ashamed this morning to learn that he has no meter. Please go and apply for a meter. You can even do this online. We have third-party external companies that are accredited by our regulator. They are the ones that supply meter. Ikeja Electric is not a meter manufacturer, but we'll get you meter. You will get your meter. So get a meter. Meter is an instrument of measurement. You'll be able to measure your consumption. That's stage one. Number two, I want to appeal to us. Don't put on your external light until it is very dark in the night. Number three, when you are in your house, you are ironing your clothes. Don't use phone.
Ha.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, okay. You want to iron your clothes. As you are using that iron,
And you're on the phone.
forget about your phone. Because as you are on the phone, hello, Monica.
Time is going.
That iron draw more energy than anything else. So just leave that little 10 minutes. Concentrate on your ironing. Leave the phone. Your husband or your lover or your wife, you can talk to him or her later while you deal with the ironing.
All right.
Then your ironing should be done collectively.
Okay.
Put a time, maybe weekend. Do the ironing of the whole house is cheaper. Your what's it called? Washing machine. Only use it at a time, maybe over the weekend. Put all the clothes. Make sure it is full. So don't just go and wash your wrapper.
Every day.
If you put just your wrapper and a singlet and a pant inside inside your washing machine. That's a waste of energy.
We'll not
Now,
using our hands,
when
right?
you are washing African Magic in your living room as a family, make sure there's no light on in the passage, in the room, in the kitchen, or in the toilet. Only put on the light of your kitchen when you enter the kitchen. As soon as you are leaving the kitchen, switch, and teach your children to do likewise. If you do all of this, I assure you, that unit that you buy, it will be there. We are making money by your management of your energy, but it is an interest for you to manage it well so that you will not be tempted to bypass your meter.
How about AC when the weather is cool? No need for AC.
Now AC, needless to say, I have a friend, a TV personality, well known in Nigeria. They live in Magodo. And I'm surprised. She and her husband and the children, for those who are on the second floor, in the evening, in the night, they open the window, put the net there. They don't even put on the AC. And she told me how they have saved over 150,000 every month by managing energy. And all the children were taught on how best to save energy. Even if you want to use AC, when you put on a friend of mine, somebody I know in Surulere, the person will put on AC, gone, and then cover himself or herself under the duvet.
It's enjoyment.
That's a waste of energy. Put on your AC, don't cover yourself, be on the bed. When it is cold, use your remote, switch it off. And I hope the people in Olamojuwa can listen to this and begin to adjust to save energy.
Okay, as we wrap up today's discussion, one thing is clear: electricity remains one of the most critical needs for Nigerians, even though it also continues to be a frustration. Now, we've been talking about relationship between electricity providers and consumers with Mr. Sunday, Chief Sunday Odunton, MDCU, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back shortly.
A lady approached me claiming to be sick, where she asked me to help her take her to the hospital. And I was like, "Are you sure you are sick?" She said, "Yes." "Okay, there's an hospital close by, let's go. I know a doctor there herself, let's go now." And she said, "No, she has her doctor." I was like, "If you are sick, then call your doctor now." She said, "No, she don't have money to go and see the doctor. I should give her money," which I did. I gave her around 2,000 naira then. Only for me to come back to that same place. I met the lady drunk, seated by the roadside, drinking. And I was like, "I thought you said you were sick." I approached her. And she was like, "Did she know me?" I was like, "You don't know me just now." She said she don't know me. And that was how people came and met me there.